I changed up the design of these earrings a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind. If you wanted to use the original pattern that I used with the Bargain Bead Box, with the seed beads and the spacer beads and all that, this pattern actually works exactly the same. I will show you the differences though for the dangly, because I left the dangly out of this one and I just thought it looked pretty the way it was. Through this tutorial, I will show you how to add that little part on the bottom. If you wanted to add, you know, a dangly on there, not a big problem. So this is the original earring that I had made. This is the one that I'm showing you today. Now it does look a little bit different, but it does work out the same. The reason that I've changed it up a little bit is because I don't have any more of these seed beads. I do have seed beads like this, but they're huge and they just wouldn't work. I tried them a couple of times to redo this, you know, to do this tutorial, and it just wasn't working. So this is basically the same as this here, just with one difference, because this faceted agate is a little bit bigger. So I had to, you know, I had to add one extra bead for the circle around that bead. But I'll let you know that as we go. And again, like I said, the dangly part here, I didn't add it to this one, but I will let you know how to add that in if you want it. So we're gonna get started. So what you're gonna need is 10. These ones are 8mm faceted agate, and then 2 for the middle. So I picked something that was slightly different than these ones here, just to make it a little bit different in the middle there. 4 3mm bicones. You'll need 8 of the 6mm bicones. You'll need 11 ode seed beads in any color you choose. You can use 6 or 8 pound fire line, whichever you choose, and 11 or 12 needle. The 11 size needle worked fine because I actually reinforced this 2 times, I believe. Plus I went around on the back and added more beads. All right, so let's get started with this. I'm using approximately 3 feet of thread, and I've put on 24 beads. All right, I'm going to bring that around in a circle. I'm going to leave approximately 5 or 6 inches at the end just to be able to sew that in after. Okay, and I'm going to sew through all those beads again to form the circle. And I'm going to go past my original starting point. Okay, so now I'm at the starting point. I'm going to go maybe 3 beads past that, or 4. I'm going to go about four beads past that. Okay. Now I've got my needle and my thread going in this direction. I'm going to add on 1 of the faceted agate onto my needle. And at this point, I'm going to add 8 seed beads. If you wanted to do this pattern with the rice beads, then only add 7 beads. But I have to add 8 beads because this bead is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to add the 8. Okay, so there's 8 beads there. Now this is where the thread is coming out. I'm going to go ahead 2 seed beads and head back in the other direction and go through 4 seed beads back, like that. Then pull everything through. Now add on another 8 seed beads onto your needle. I have another 8. I'm going to go back down through that faceted agate, out the bottom. And you'll notice there is a little hole here. Don't worry about that. We're going to add another bead in after. Now you turn around and you head back in the same direction you were originally heading. Take the next 4 seed beads on the main row, like that, and pull it through. I call this my figure 8 because because you're coming up here, you're going around and down, you're coming back around and then going out. And that just reinforces, keeps the bead in there the way it's supposed to be. I'll do it again for you. So I'm going to add on 1 of your bigger beads, whether it's your rice bead or this one here. This one's an 8mm. So add on your bead. And again, if you're using the rice beads, only add 7 11-ohs, but I have to add 8 11-ohs because I'm using a larger bead. So come down with your needle again and head back in the other direction. This is where your thread is coming out of. Go 2 forward, 2 seed beads forward, and then go back 4 seed beads. Like that. And pull everything through. Add on another 8 seed beads, or 7 if you're using the rice beads. And it's a good habit to get into, just double check and make sure you actually have the right amount of beads on there. It is possible to miscount. All right, then go back down through your main bead. Pull everything tight. And then go in where your seed bead first went in, right there, and then head over 4 seed beads, 4 11-ohs. Okay, so that's what it should look like right now. Repeat that all the way around until you've used all of your 5 dark beads. And I will come back and we'll continue. Okay, my 5 beads are on there and we are going to continue. So I'm going to take my needle. I'm coming out of the last faceted agate, and I'm going to take my needle and go through all of these beads till I get back to the very first top of the very first main bead, like first faceted agate. Okay, now I'm at the top of the very first one I did. You want to add 1 bead and then put your needle through 3 of the 11-ohs, which closes off that first main bead. So if you want to work on this earring, you need to add 1 of those smaller rondelles, a spacer bead and a smaller rondelle, okay, onto your thread. If you're working on this one, you just add 1 of your 6mm bicones. If I can get this to sit straight. Okay. So you got to count up from here. So there's 8 seed beads going up the one side of the next bead. You want to count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go into the bottom of the 6th bead and go 3 beads over, like that. Pull it tight. And then add an 11-0, and then go through the next 3 seed beads on the top of that faceted agate. And that closes off the next one. And then just continue that all the way around between each of your large beads. Bottom of the 6th seed bead, go through 3. Add a seed bead, go through 3. I think these bicones look really nice on here actually. Okay. And that's what it should look like so far. From here, we're going to add this part. So I'm going to call that the bail for the earring. This part here is exactly the same as what I did with the rice bead earring. So put on 7 11-0s. Make sure you got 7 on there. So 7. 1 3mm bicone. Another 4 11-0s. Another 3mm bicone. And then another 7 11-0s. And make sure you count up 5 on this side. You want to go back into the bottom of the 6th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So bottom of the 6th one again. And go through as many as you can. Now that I have that on, I'm going to reinforce and go around the whole piece once, the outside. So I'm going to go through these three 11-0s, the bicone, the 11-0s. This just reinforces the piece, makes it a little stiffer, stronger. Now when you get down to the bottom, as I'm reinforcing, now with the other piece, when I got down to the bottom, I added the little bottom piece as I was reinforcing on my other piece, on my other earring. When I got down to this point, this is what I added here as I reinforced. So what you want to do is when you're reinforcing, after you come out of this seed bead or out of this spacer bead, you add 1 rice bead, and then you add 6 11-0s, another rice bead, and then you come up to the next, underneath the next spacer bead, and then you continue around. Continue around. So that's how you add the dangly, you know, the piece that's going to hold your pendant, your dangly pendant. Okay? For this earring though, I really liked the way that it looked without that, because there is a lot going on here, so I decided not to add the dangly. And I'm just going to continue around, reinforcing this piece as I go. And even with my 11 needle and 8-pound fryer line. There's still a lot of room in here. Okay. Now that we're here, so we're back here, right at the junction where the bail meets the round part of the bead, like the round part here. Now I'm going to go down, because you want to add that other agate in the middle. At this, you know, if you don't want to add it, you don't have to, but I'm going to because I really like the look of that. And I try to, you know, separate the agates so that, you know, I have similar ones here and then a slightly different one in the middle. Now I'm here at the junction of this round piece and the middle piece. And I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up 2 seed beads because I want to be sitting right in the middle. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take that other faceted agate. Okay, now you're coming out of the middle there. You want to go down through the middle here. So that'll be, see where the thread is coming out of that agate? You want to go back in there. So 2 right in the middle and go through 2 of those. And pull it tight. I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to come all the way around and meet back where I just went into. All right, now I'm back to where I came out of with that middle bead. Now I'm going to go back up through that same bead. There. And I'm going to go back through the beads between the 2 beads that I came out of. And if you can, bend your piece so that now you're going to come out the back. Okay, this is the front, back. I'm going to reinforce this back a little bit so it's not so bendy. I'm going to go up 1 seed bead. Okay, I'm going to add 5 seed beads to my thread. Then I'm going to go up the first seed bead in the circle sequence. So that'd be this one here. Okay. Pull it tight. Then go down the last seed bead of the next circle sequence. Like that. Pull your thread through, pull it tight, and that just helps the piece from bending in and out. It just stiffens it up a little bit, and that way you don't have to add the metal piece that I had to add in my rice bead earring. So if you do this to the rice bead earring, it'll work the same way. Okay, so add another 5 beads, another 5 seed beads, 11 seed beads, and do the same thing again. So go up, I'll turn it around here. So go up the first 11 in the next circle sequence. So this is a circle sequence, okay? Right there. Pull it tight, and then go down. Okay, like that. Then add your next 5 beads, 5 11-ohs. And then go up the next circle sequence. And then down the first bead of the next circle sequence. Okay, do that 2 more times. And then meet me back here. Now I'm done all that around. I am missing the first bead in the first circle sequence, and I'm going to go up all the way around to this bead here. And that's what the back looks like now that it's been reinforced. And I'm going to go through this bail one more time. Now what I did with the other earring is that I went back down these beads here, okay, until I got to my reinforced beads at the back. And I just went through them one more time, just to stiffen them up a little bit too. Let's just go through them. Might run out of thread here. I'm hoping I don't. I had enough of last time. When you reinforce this time, you don't have to go up and down through the first and last bead of the circle sequence like I did the first time. You don't have to do that this time. There, now I've gone through everything again, and as you can see, they are pretty stiff. I'm going to tie off now, so I'm just going to head up this side here, like that, and I'm going to tie off in here. Just go through, there's a little hole there as you can see, just go through there, and then tie off. And I'm going to use my zapper just to hide that, get rid of that little bit of thread there. Okay, then you just take your ear wire. Now this is my back, this is my front. So I'm going to make sure that I do this right. There. And there's a really cute pair of earrings. And that didn't take long at all. Like, you know, to actually do these earrings took almost no time at all. Of course, I've already done the pattern a few times now. Unfortunately, with the second time I did that pattern, I messed up. It just wasn't working. The rice beads were way too big for this pattern. So that's basically how you do that pattern. And these look really cute. Like, I love purple. If you're doing the rice bead earrings, then you can also add your stud as well, like your earring finding that came with the box. You can use that as well if you're using all these colors. But basically, that's how I make these earrings. So give them a try, see how you like them, use your own colors, have fun with it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Sign up for my newsletter on my webpage that enters you for the monthly giveaway. I'm doing that every month now. You guys have a great weekend, and I would love to see you back here for my next video. See you guys.